Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the second part of the video series on figures of speech. Today we will understand the figures of speech, antithesis, alliteration and tautology. So let's begin. First figure of speech is antithesis. Here opposite words are used in the same line. For example, man proposes, God disposes. Proposes and disposes are opposite words. Next, speech is silver, silence is gold. Here, speech and silence are opposite words. Next, many are called, but few are chosen. Here, many and few are opposite words. Therefore, in all these three examples, the figure of speech is antithesis. Second figure of speech is alliteration. In this figure of speech, sound of a letter or more than one letter are repeated. The bubbles rose and burst. Here, bubbles and burst. Have you noticed, friends? The sound of the letter B is repeated pleasingly for better poetic effect. Therefore, the figure of speech is alliteration. Next, with gleaming gold. Gleaming, gold. Here, the sound of the letter G is repeated pleasingly for better poetic effect. Similarly, and being faint with fasting. Here the sound of the letter F is repeated for better poetic effect. And therefore, in all these three examples, the figure of speech is alliteration. Next figure of speech is tautology. In this figure of speech, words having same or similar meaning are used. It means, friends, that the same idea is repeated twice using two different words. For example, sudden and quick in quarrel. Here in this line, sudden and quick have similar meanings. Next, the woman was old, ragged and grey. Old and grey have similar meanings. Next example, in joyful, merry mood. Joyful and merry, both these words mean the same. They mean happy. And therefore, friends, in all these three examples, the figure of speech is tautology. Now it's activity time. Let's do an activity to understand these three figures of speech. Name and explain the figures of speech. First, for men may come and men may go. Friends, before we go ahead, let me tell you that one line may have more than one figure of speech. So right now, we will concentrate on only those figures of speech which we have learned. Come and go are opposite words, and therefore, friends, the figure of speech over here is antithesis. Alliteration is also present. Why? Because sound of the letter M is repeated in men and may. So let's write alliteration too. Next, they have their exits and entrances. Exits, entrances are opposite words. So therefore, the figure of speech here is antithesis. Next, the singer sang the song of fire. The sound of the letter S is repeated in singer, sang and song. and therefore the figure of speech over here is alliteration. Next, weavers weaving at break of day. Here, the sound of the letters W, E, A, V are repeated for better poetic effect, and therefore the figure of speech is alliteration. Next, the money should be adequate enough. Friends, adequate and enough both have the same meaning. They mean sufficient, and therefore the figure of speech here is tautology. Next, dry desert. Here, dry and desert both have the same meaning, and therefore the figure of speech is tautology. So friends, in this video we have learned about antithesis, alliteration and tautology. I hope you have learned something from this video. Thank you for watching this video. Do share, like and subscribe. Bye.